So, welcome to the Whispers of the Dead, where we dive into the stories that blur the line between reality and the unknown. In tonight's episode, we explore the tale of a mirror, an ordinary object but one with a sinister secret. This day, reflections captured more than just our appearance, but our fears, our regrets, and sometimes our fate. Brace yourself for the mirror that remembers. The story name is The Mirror That Remembers. Emma. So Emma, here had always been fascinated by antiques. So when she moved into her new apartment, she quickly filled it with old furniture and decorations. Her favorite find was an ornate, full-length mirror she bought from a small, dimly lit shop. The mirror had a heavy golden frame decorated with a strange, carvings, faces, eyes, and symbols she didn't recognize. Right. The shopkeeper had given her a strange look when she purchased it. The mirror has a long memory. She had muttered, but Emma had totally laughed it off, thinking it was just part of his sales pitch. On the first night, as she was unpacking, she noticed the mirror seemed, whenever she glanced at her reflection, she felt off, like something was watching her from the another side of it. Right. Dismissing it as nerves from moving in, she continues unpacking and went to bed. Right? But that night, she had a dream in it. She was standing before the mirror in her darkened room, but her reflection wasn't quite right. The Emma in the mirror looked back at her with a haunted expression, her eyes hollow and her skin pale. Right? She raised a hand to touch the glass, and her reflection did the same. But when her hand made contact, it felt like something cold, something alive was touching her from the another side. Right? The next morning, she shrugged off the dream as stress, right, and went about her day. But every time, she passed the mirror, she could swear her reflection was a split second slow, like it was watching her, waiting. Shadows seemed to linger around the edges of the frame, and sometimes she heard faint whisper. On evening, she was brushing her hair in front of the mirror when she noticed a dark smudge on the glass. She tried whipping it away. She tried whipping it away, but it wouldn't come off. Frustrated, she looked closer and froze. It wasn't a smudge. It was a handprint. The print was inside of the glass. That was so terrifying. Heart pounding, she took a step back, but the handprint only seemed to grow darker, more defined, and then to her horror, she saw her reflection green, in a twisted, mocking green that didn't match her own fearful expression. The next few nights were filled with nightmares. In every dream, she was trapped in the mirror, banging on the glass, trying to escape as the reflection took her place in the real world, living her life. Her life. She woke up each morning, drenched in sweat. But every time she looked at herself in the mirror, and her reflection seemed different, darker, and hungrier. One night, Emma couldn't take it anymore. Decided to get rid of the mirror. She wrapped it in a sheet, and she wrapped in a seat and dragged it down to the basement storage area, hoping to be rid of it forever. But as she turned to leave, she heard a faint chilling whispers echoing from within the class. Within the class. You can't leave me, class. You can't leave me. The next morning, she went back to check, right, but the mirror was gone. Confused, she returned to her apartment, and to her, horror, there was a bag in its place, standing in her room as if it had never left. Her reflection stared back at her with that same, malevolent grin, and she could hear whispers echoing from within the glass, calling her name, inviting her name. Can you believe it? The last time anyone showed Emma, right? She was staring into the mirror, her eyes wide with terror. When her friends came to check on her after days of silence, they found her apartment empty, except for her sorry, not expect, it's totally except, except for the mirror, which still stood in her room. And if you look close enough, some say you can still see her face trapped behind the glass, screaming in silence. Right. So that was the story. That was totally horrified. I was tutoring for some time. It's not going after all. Because that story is really so scary and really terrifying. This was the Whispers of the Dead, right? That is a channel of mine. That's the name of the channel. Is Whispers of the Dead. So if you liked it, then please subscribe to my channel. Where stories of terror and mystery refuse to fade away. Mirrors reflect our image, but sometimes they reflect more than we bargained for. Join us next time if you dare for more tales and make your caution the world around you. Until then, keep your eyes open and remember, some things are best left unsaid. So that was the story. I hope you liked it. So yeah, thank you so much and have a good day. And yeah, thank you so much. And please subscribe to my channel. Right, I'm working hard to being continued through the whole life. I have to continue this particular channel. If you actually boosting my channel, I will never disappoint you. Right, ever. I will never disappoint you. I will always publish that video in Whispers of the Dead, because there is a category, there is a horror category, and that horror category is actually comes in the entertainment channel. So I'm literally trying to entertain you. I'm not trying to just push you in a negative track, right? So yeah, thank you so much and have a bye.